Hello, you guys. Look, today we're going to talk about how you are a spiritual warrior. You're meant to be a spiritual warrior. All right. And so let's get geared up. It's time already. It's time. I felt such an urgency this morning. I woke up and all of these ideas and understandings were in my heart and coming alive for us, because God knows, and I welcome all religions, right? But divine love knows what I do, because I'm always making these videos to equip you guys. And so when you choose to give yourself over to something fully, then you're going to be equipped. Know that you are, even if we do it imperfectly, right? I was reading The Lord of the Rings last night and listening to it on Audible again. And it was just so clear how we get to these points in this journey where we feel like all of our efforts are for nothing, and we have been defeated, and the enemy, throws. It's like in The Lord of the Rings, right? I love J.R. Tolkien. I love him. He's like a father to me. Oh, look, I have all of his quotes on the back of my journal. I wrote them in permanent marker. Keep your spirits up, says Tolkien, right? In The Hobbit, he said that. Right? I just write things that he just speaks to my heart so much. And so in this, the enemy threw Frodo's clothes. He had this mithril vest, right? And so it looked like the enemy had disarmed him, and it looked like he had defeated him, and he threw it in front of Gandalf and Aragorn and it was Merryweather that got to be there, the Hobbit, and anyway, so they were just stricken to the heart. But it was a lie. Yes, he had gotten those things, but he hadn't defeated Frodo, right? He hadn't. And you don't have to know this story to know what I'm about to talk to you about, all right? Because I wrote this down for us. Look, this is what came out this morning, you guys. Okay, so you can take a screenshot of this if you'd like to. I don't mind. I know it was a lot, but I only had 20 minutes, and I wrote all of this. How to be a spiritual warrior. This is for you, okay? All of my videos are teaching you about this. I didn't even know they were all teaching you about this, but that's what they all are doing, right? Someone told me that, Latoya told me that when I had a coaching session. Latoya Okia, she's like, you're sleeping on yourself, girl. I'm like, what does it mean to sleep on yourself? You're not knowing. You don't know the power. If you just think, if you understand, you are a child of the divine. You are a child of the Most High God. You are a child. You are made in the image and likeness of God. Even if you don't believe in a God, you're still made in the image and likeness of God. So you have the capacity as a soul. You are a soul in a body, right? You have this capacity for the God powers of God to flow through you to other people, to love the world, to enlighten the world. You have these powers, all right? Yes, I've been a psychologist. I studied psychology. I went to school for 9 years, and then I'm practicing it for 20, so 30 years, more than 30 years, I have been studying this and practicing this. So yes, I have had to spend a lot of money and discipline to get these skills that I have. But unless I get out of the way, I just saw an image before this when I was over there. I saw an image in my mind of a flute, okay? If God is like the Holy Spirit, the spirit of divine love, like these birds, I keep hearing these birds around us. Listen. Be present with your deeper eye. Know your deeper eye. If I don't teach you anything in my videos, I want to teach you that. Be present. Know who you are. Did I even say my name? Who cares? Do you see? I've been watching this girl. I'm like, oh, I don't even know her name. Her name is Bold for Christ or something. You know what I mean? I don't know her name. And it's it doesn't even matter what my name is, because what's coming through me is more important than my name. I go by the name Dr. Cheryl Meyer. That's my professional name, right? Do you think I know the names of these birds that are singing for us right now? I don't know their names. You are more than your name. You are more than your skin color. You're more than the religion you identify with. You are a vessel for the living, divine, most high God, okay? And so understand that I saw this flute, okay? This is for all of us. If you have a bunch of junk in that flute, that's us running to the world again, running to fill our money bags up with gold and all these things. And I got that song from Coldplay, chasing our tails, but I got chasing tails, you know what I mean? And I started laughing because I was like, yeah, I could spend my time if I wanted to be not making these videos, not learning more about divine love, about God, not reading all the time and being present and being silent, taking all this time to be silent. No, I could be down with the hot surfers. I live by the ocean. They're very muscular and they go with the flow and they're in nature. Like they're very much vibing with my whole skater flow vibe, right? I could be hanging out and picking up on the surfers every day. Don't not believe that I could do that. You see how I could do that, right? But I'm not. And you know, some days I wish I was. I can just tell you, that is our fleshly nature. It's just like I wish I could have like a giant meal right now and never stop eating. That's our flesh. It always wants more, okay? Who cares? Don't give your allegiance to that. Don't give your power to that. Be aware of it, but don't give your power to that, right? And so this flute, how can it play these beautiful songs unless it's cleared out? We're spending this time clearing out what's there, and divine love will help you. God will help you clear that out so you can be this beautiful vessel that love can just flow through, right? I said in a video the other day, watch this video. From now on, I am a swan, and I mean that. We're no more ugly duckling. When you're in negativity pollutes everything, all right? So practice not being in negativity. These are all disciplines. All of these things, they build on one another, all right? They build on each other. All of my videos, you could stack them. They all build on each other. They're all going circling back, teaching you how to have these skills so you can be a powerful spiritual warrior in this world, because you're not meant to be dominated. You're meant to dominate. Genesis 1:1. It says, I have that. That's step 3 here. We're meant to dominate this world, not be seduced by weakness. This is right here. This part. By weakness and blindness and asleepness, right? The battle is like the egotism versus the soul. But you don't want to, what you resist persists. So you don't want to have this full on, I hate you egotism. Just recognize it and stop giving your energy to it. You are a soul and you have a soul's calling. You have a higher calling here. And I want you to wake up to that, but that's up to you, right? Okay, so first, I put here, this is the first thing that came to me, was understand, this is number 1 here, you are the observer of all that surfaces. You are not that. You are not all of these bad, let's say I had spent 20 years instead of in school chasing after those surfers, chasing our tails. That's what it does. It just leads you in a circle. If I watched TV all the time, if I played video games all the time and got lost in that, if I just ate all day long, whatever, if I kept trying to please an unpleasable man in my life, idolizing someone, because you thought you had to keep pleasing them in order to get love, that's putting someone in front of God, okay? And so that's easy. Someone can call themselves a Christian, I was just talking to my mom last night. I grew up with her, and I won't throw her under the bus. I'll just say my own stuff is just the same idea. Is I was taught you had to keep trying to please these people, and it's impossible. It's just like pleasing the egotism. You cannot do that. We're not meant to please our appetites. Our appetites are a black hole. They're never ending. They'll always want more. They will consume you as you are consumed by them, okay? God is not like that. Divine love is not like that. I heard this song this morning. I cannot, for the life of me, remember this. Not for the life of me, but I just can't remember the song. I asked God to bring it back to me when it's ready, but I had this song, the Chicago song, We Did It All for the Glory of Love, It's like a knight in shining armor. But it was like, I give it all to you for love. And when I said that to God, I heard him saying that back to me. God is beyond he and she, right? And it's just like, when you surrender yourself fully to God, to divine love, and keep asking God, your brain's not going to understand what that is, okay? But when you do that, you start experiencing love, the divine love, the love that created everything, right? I have this musical notes on, right? Love, singing back to you, I love you. And you can say something like, I waited for you for so long, God, you know, and God will say back to you, I waited for you for so long, Cheryl, whatever your name is, right? I waited for you for so long. And God was always there. Okay, so understand, you are the observer. Start practicing seeing yourself as the witness of all of these phenomena that like, look, he gave me this word. You are phenom, right? And I was like, what? I never use that word, you know? But I used that word one time. I was doing a skating video. You can see it on my skating Instagram. And I'm on my roller skates, and I'm my head's off the ground and my knees are on my elbows, and I started playing that song, Something Like a Phenomenon, right? And I didn't know why I picked that song, but it can be for this day. You are a phenom. So don't be caught up in the phenomena, the passing things of this world. Be a phenom. Understand, you are the observer of all of the ebb and flow. Don't buy into the ebb and flow. You are the observer of all of these, the whininess, oh, I can't do this. I'll show you the next part. Because you are not that. And I read this Christian mystic, and he was talking about Jesus, talking about, I think, Mary Magdalene, if I remember correctly. But he gave this example. If Jesus dropped a gold coin, and now let's say a gold coin was worth $5,000 or something, right? 5,000 euros, whatever, right? And he dropped it in a pile of manure. Let's say there's a pile of manure right here, and he dropped it in it, right? And so there's this guy that comes up behind him and sees it, you know. Jesus acts like he's not, he you know, that was an accident, right? But he drops it on purpose. And the guy picks it up, right? And he cleans it off, right? He cleans off this gold coin, and he says, Master, Rabbi, you know, Rabbi, teacher, you dropped your gold coin, you know, thinking, you know, maybe God will reward him for doing this good deed, or Jesus will, or like see what a virtuous person he is, or see like he values this. Look at what, and he said, look at how you just berated your niece. If his niece was Mary Magdalene. I can't remember exactly how the story goes, but this is the image that was coming to me, the gold coin in manure. You are that gold coin. Just because the world has wrapped itself and its ways around you, and you've given your will over to it. I don't care if you've been an alcoholic for 20 years, if you've been using drugs, if you've been, whatever you've been doing to numb yourself, to stay distant, if you've been kept calling yourself a Christian and didn't know what it was, to surrender yourself to God, whatever your religion has been, like, divine love wants a relationship with you, wants you to be clicked in like the groove of a record player. If you think of a record player back in the day, right? If the player thing is going and just scratching the records, if the record's not in the groove, you're never going to hear the song. Getting into the groove is just getting into alignment with divine love, which you came from. You came from this love. And who do you think, this is what I was thinking, like from the Lord of the Rings and everything, who do you think's gonna win in the end? Does the evil ever prevail? Does the evil ever win? It does not. It always looks like it is in the moment, right? And so you look like you're having the best life now, don't you, right? And I don't want to say this to be mean to you, but you're not. You're missing out. All right, so get on Team God, Team Divine Love, Team we can change the world. We can be spiritual warriors. We can be equipped. We don't have to be caught up in the BS, our old belief systems, the belief systems of this world. All right, so he says, look at how easily it is for you to like take this rag and wipe off and put water on this gold coin because you see the value of $5,000. Who cares about $5,000? This is a soul you were just judging and you were putting down because you didn't see her real nature, that she is gold. You are gold. You are gold. You are not your addictions. Start understanding yourself. See yourself as the observer, as the witness. Stop sleeping on yourself like I was sleeping on myself, right? this ability was in me, but when I kept feeling depressed about everything and feeling like I couldn't, and believing the lies that I had to please somebody else, wait for somebody else, like wait for somebody that ghosted me to get my worth. No, he doesn't know my worth. My dad didn't know my worth. My mom didn't know my worth. They didn't know their own worth. Okay, let them be. Stop accepting scraps. They're accepting scraps, or they wouldn't recognize the gold that you are. Start recognizing the gold that you are. God don't make no junk, right? That's a saying, but it's also a song from my friend Elliot. He put it in a song. He asked for my dissertation because I told him, I quoted that song, Elliot Smith, God don't make it no junk, but it's plain to see he still made me. And so, Elliot was just trying to understand the juxtaposition of that, right? The paradox of that. How do I love myself? And yet I see that I feel like this junk, because you're identified with how you've been acting. You're identified with the addiction that's been taking over your will. Take back your will, give it to God, and God will always give your will back to you and make you strong. He doesn't make you a slave. Divine love doesn't do that. And so notice the patterns so that you don't get hooked into them, right? So that you don't get overtaken. And here are the patterns. This is from a guy named David James Lees and Alex, the Wu Wei. I learned so much from all these other people now. They might not have the whole thing aligned with divine love, but they have wisdom to give us. And so they said the 3 things that the egotism does, so you can recognize it, is it always is criticizing and comparing and judging. They call it CCJ. And so notice when you're criticizing other people, notice when I was saying to you, I was encouraging you. I'm not criticizing you. When you reprove someone, when you bring to light, you are called to be the salt of the earth. We're meant to reprove people, but not ever to judge, right? Because everybody is gold. You're so golden. I have so many skating videos with that song in it, because it just came for today, right? Because you are golden. That's Harry Styles' song, right? I always want to give credit to where it's due, but okay. And so this is also what the egotism does, and this is from the Wu Wei method, the David James Lee's people. It always thinks it's not enough. It always thinks it's not lovable in some way, and it thinks it can't cope. So yesterday I had a new experience that I had to face, and I started feeling like, I can't cope with this. I don't know how, I've never done it. And I just started laughing. I'm like, that's the egotism. The egotism, that is not me. Maybe I don't know how to do this. Maybe I'll suck at it, right? Maybe I'll fall on my face. But it doesn't mean I can't cope. That's just going back to childhood, when we felt overwhelmed by chaotic parents that stepped on us or didn't love us or abused us or whatever. It's not about being a victim. It's about understanding, where do you think these are coming from? It's because I didn't feel like I could cope, and I didn't feel like anyone was there to help me, right? And so when a new situation arises, you'll get triggered to go back into your old self, but you are not a child. Look in the mirror. Look, I'm not a child. I'm not a child. My friend texted me the other day. I love you, right? He said he loved me and that I was his favorite under 30. He knows. Like, I don't have to be caught up in my age. It's not about vanity, but in the spirit, we are ageless, right? I love him. And that was like the sweet, anyway, it's so nice. Encourage one another. Write comments to encourage me, encourage other people. Stop hiding in the shadows, okay? Now, I don't care. Personally, I don't care. But I was shown this morning again. Look, it's over here. You're called out of anonymity, right? I had 70 people watch my video, my swan video. Stop. I'm not the ugly duckling anymore. Stop identifying with that old rejection script. That's what our parents taught us from their own unconsciousness in childhood. I'm not that anymore. And so stop identifying with that. 70 people watched that and one person liked it besides me. I'm going to like my own now, right? And it's like, no, because so when you can mobilize yourself, when you stop hiding in anonymity, here, right? I'm putting myself out there. You put yourself out there as best you can. I know on Instagram it shows the people, but they'll like my other 1-minute videos. You know what I mean? Like, put yourself out there. It will get this ball rolling. It's not about me. It's about, this is one way you can start being a warrior, start being courageous right now. Choose in this moment as how we create all the other moments, this moment, right? And so, yeah, Genesis 1, we're meant to dominate. God said not to dominate in a mean way, but not to be seduced by weakness. And it was like, it says, what did it say? It says, rule the earth, subdue the earth in harmony. You're in harmony with it, but you're bringing it up to its highest capacity. That's what you're doing in your own soul. Put on the full armor of God is some of the verses that go with this. I'll have to write the rest in the description, right? Or the comments. People of this world are, Jesus says in Luke 16, I think it's 16 or 10, 8 through 9. Yeah. He says the people of this world are more wise about some of these things. The children of darkness have then these mysteries that we have access to. Then the children of light, we have access to these higher truths, and yet they are more wise in these areas. They understand the value of gold. If you understood the value of gold and then understood that you are a soul, you're way more worth than $1 billion you are worth, and we're treating ourselves like we're worth $2, stop treating yourself like that. Stop running after. That's why we run after ego things. That's why I would run after the surfers, because I wouldn't know my real worth, and I'd try to find it in someone holding me, because I didn't get holding a lot in childhood. All right, there's nothing wrong that I want that. There's something wrong that I keep trying to go about it in the wrong way, in a way that's cheating, in a way that's cheating myself. That's just gonna give me a temporary high, and then leave me empty again. I don't want that. I don't want someone not to be there that next day. No, I want them always to be there next to me, right? As much as we can't control that. Someone could die the next day, right? But look, we're called to bring all of these into the highest order, all right? That's all we're doing. So look, I hope this equips you. Share it, like, comment. Much love. I wish you so much love.